Yeah. I want to talk about something I haven't talked about, and I might ruffle a lot of feathers. I don't give a damn because like I said before, this is my channel. I'm saying I do what I want, I say what I want, and if you don't like it, please get off. Please get the fuck off. I'm not doing this for praise nor accolades, man. But man, when you're young, you don't pay attention to certain things. You may have heard about it, but you really don't put in the time or research about this. I want to talk about the gay culture. I want to talk about the download culture and all that stuff. But first things first, I hear this phrase about a person being getting turned out. Oh, he got turned out or she got turned out. No, there's no such thing as being turned out. No, there's no such thing. It means that that person was already gay. It's just that it was brought out of them. I say it again. There's no such thing as being turned out. It's just that that homosexuality spirit was already in you. It's just that the right circumstances and the right person bring it out of you. That's all. Point blank. Period. Plain and simple. And I want to talk about the gay culture too. No disrespect to the gays and lesbians and all that stuff. No disrespect to y'all. But I realize something. When it comes to y'all getting married, especially when it comes to having children, two women cannot raise a young boy. I say it again. Two women cannot raise a young boy properly because that young boy is going to need a masculine figure. He's going to need a real man to know how to be a real man, because only a man can teach a young boy, and vice versa. When it comes to two men in a relationship or marriage cannot raise a young girl. Only a girl can learn from a woman. Only a woman can teach a young girl how to be a woman. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because once you really think about it, in my honest opinion, I'm not talking about the whole marriage thing. I'm talking about raising a family thing, man. It's a great big ball of confusion. It is a great ball of confusion if two women is going to raise a boy and vice versa if two men is going to raise a girl. It's a great big ball of confusion. It's going to mess things up. Yeah, it's going to mess a lot of things up. And also, I want to talk about the down low culture. Of course, when it comes to being down low, we always picture like men being on the down low. But once you really think about it, it's a lot more cases. It's a lot more women who are on the down low. But here's the crazy part, though. It be and like nowadays, like in modern times, like a lot of these modern women, a lot of married women who are supposedly straight and have a husband and have a child, a lot of those women tend to be on the down low, because I've heard stories on YouTube and also in real life on how studs, how studs have accounts of getting hit on by so-called straight women who are married to their husbands. You know what I'm saying? In their corporate jobs or in their jobs in general, a lot of these studs be getting hit on by these so-called straight women. And these so-called straight women be married to their husbands. And once you really think about it, man, it kind of makes sense too, because women outnumber men 1 to 5. I say it again. In today's society, women outnumber men 1 to 5. So it kind of makes sense on how a large percentage of down low women be creeping on their husbands. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, man, it's you know it too, and it also makes sense. I'm sorry for stuttering. I'm kind of sleepy, but it also makes sense too, as when it comes to the CDC. When it comes to sexual diseases, no wonder why there's a high percentage of sexual diseases, especially in the African American community, because a lot of black people are delving into the down low culture. You get what I'm saying? The percentage of STDs and HIVs is very high in the black community. And the main leading cause is the down low culture. You have a bunch of men and a bunch of women who are sneaking around having sex with the same gender. And a lot of those people are married, especially when it comes to the women. It's very sad, it's very unfortunate, and it's very dangerous. That's why modern day dating is very dangerous out here, because you don't know what this person is into on the low key side. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if this person is messing around with, different partners or with the same sex. You don't know that, man. You don't fucking know that. You don't fucking know that. And it's man, it's very alarming. And it's sick. It's very sickening. It's very alarming, man, as to why, as to what's really going on in today's society. But you know what it is, though, man. It just is what it is. Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say when it comes to the gay culture, when it comes to the down low culture and all that stuff. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing I want to say too. There's one more thing I want to say. When it comes to relationships and marriages, when it comes to the domestic violence cases, this is what shocked me. I did my research and I realized that the number one main leaders of domestic violence cases are women against women, aka lesbian relationships and marriages. Now, in second place is the heterosexual relationships, which is men and women. But surprisingly, in third place is the man on man relationship. They're in third place when it comes to domestic violence cases. But what really blew my mind was that women on women domestic violence cases are number one. And if I'm not mistaken, the percentage is around 69.3. The domestic violence cases is at 69.3. And I said, what the hell? 69.3? That's more than half. That is more than half. And I said to myself, why is that? And it just dawned on me. Think about it. Two females, all that feminine energy, all that estrogen is going to cause a lot of chaos. It's going to cause a lot of chaotic frenzy. So of course females are going to be fighting a lot because there's too much estrogen in that relationship and there's too much chaotic energy. And something is about to blow and something is about to bust. Plain and simple. Plain and goddamn simple. Too much of that estrogen energy. Too much feminine energy. And it makes sense too. It makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of damn sense. But yeah, but that's all I gotta say about that, man. Shit, that's all I gotta say. To all the people that's out there that's listening to my video, hey, beware. Just beware on the person or on the person that you're dating with. Just be aware and do your research on the person that you're hooking up with, that you're dating with, because you never know if that person is on the DL. Because in my honest opinion, the down low culture is on the rise, and it's sad to say the lesbian culture is on the rise too, because you have a lot of lesbians out here getting married as well. Not just gay men, but a lot of women, a lot of gay women are getting married out here. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. We live in a crazy, we live in a crazy world out here, man. But like I said before, no disrespect to the gays and lesbians and all this stuff, but in my honest opinion, we're living in a crazy world out here. It just is what it is. But that's all I got to say about that, man. Shit, that's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So, thank you so much and have a good day.